start getting guys that are gonna start baiting you into thinking that they're friendly. Like, oh no, we won't shoot, and then you pull out, and then the next you know they head tap you, and that's it. So it's gonna be a weird dynamic, but it's gonna be fun. I definitely feel like it'll be fun.
Yeah, and that
Yep.
leads on to the point of the whole rumor on the karma system. Like, you know, if you kill USAC and you're a USAC, you know, bad shit will happen. So like, say you're hiding in a bush and another USAC comes up, you know, will they take the chance of shooting you and, you know, resulting in that bad karma happening, or are they just gonna bypass you and just say, fuck it, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
I don't know. I don't know how the karma system is gonna work. Nikita's touched on it a few times, but he basically was saying like, oh, it'll lead to weapon jams or it'll lead to overheating, and they're also gonna add weapon overheating in the game so that you can't spray somebody with you can't mag dump them, you know, in the legs. Like if you mag dump somebody, your barrel's basically gonna melt. And
Well,
at
Ghost
that
was
point,
talking about the other night, that just doesn't seem realistic at all, because you can go through like 500 mags and I mean,
Well, it's more or less a thing where like malfunctions do happen, and that's with any gun. It doesn't matter.
well,
what
yeah,
type of
yeah,
gun,
yeah,
but as long as
malfunctions
the
happen,
guns,
but like
as long as the guns
overheating
take
doesn't
care
make
of.
sense.
The only thing I can think about is once your barrel gets to a certain temperature, you could possibly just like hot round a round off without squeezing the trigger, since the barrel's so hot that it just warms the bullet up at the end of the chamber, and it just pops one off. And then with your barrel getting hot, that means your receiver is getting hot, so therefore that means you can jam up. So there's some things that can happen, but it's just like you would have to put like 500 rounds down before I feel like you would make any AR or the most reliable gun out there, which I hate to say it, but the AK is one of the most reliable guns. They've been reliable for years. I mean, not even in the game, but just
in general, IRL, yeah.
Yeah, they've been making them since the 50s.
And that's why there's so many
World War
AKs
II.
in the game instead of M4s, because M4s, they're granted they have the forward assist and they're reliable, and you know the army uses them, but you know the AKs are really like you can take them apart. You could take the dust cover off and still fire the gun. Yeah, like you could basically bare bones it and just grip the mag and the pistol grip. Even if you don't even have a handguard on it, you can still fire it. It's gonna get hot, but you're gonna fire it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing too, is that like regarding the karma system, like will that result in like armor failure? You know what I mean? Because like they're gonna add the armor Molly plate system where you could buy like a hex grid 511 armor, or the even the Cry precision arm. They're gonna take all the mags off of it, the mag pouches off of it, and you put the mag pouches that you want on your rig. But will that affect economy too? Because like armor's really expensive right now. Like I can go and buy a trooper armor for 80K, but when they add the Molly system into it, is the trooper armor going to drop down to 30, and then the mag's going to be like 500, 5,000 a piece? You know what I mean?
But touching a little bit on like armor and stuff like that, you know what I always wanted to see in this game is if you get a clean shot to someone's chest, because naturally the first thing you do once you get shot or shot at in this game is to run. Okay, we all know that. But I feel like if you get a clean shot in someone's chest, right in the armor, if they have armor on, and it hits their plate, I believe your stand bar should go down. I believe your stand bar should
go
down, because
I 100% agree with that.
It simulates getting the wind knocked out of you, which a bullet will do, because kinetic energy transfers through your body.
Bro, if I hit you, even if you have a level 5 armor on, AR 500 armor, if I hit you with a 7.62 BP bullet, number one, the armor plate's gonna crack. It's gone. Like, you know, you don't have armor anymore, and you're gonna break a rib. I guarantee it.
But to me, I feel like that's something that they should do. Like,
oh, absolutely.
You catch one to the chest, you should be like, your dude should sound like he was just running for a mile, like, you know, that type of sound, like to let you know that, like, dude, you just got the wind knocked out of you. Now if that happens to you, now you have to think strategic, like, yo, this is fight or flight, you know, and that will push a different environment of PvP.
And that's gonna trigger the people who pop main, you know, they meta painkillers. And that's the other thing that Nikita wanted to add into the game, is that you get addicted to painkillers. You can also get addicted to nicotine, because he wants to add, like, you know, the Marlboro cigarettes you pick up, you can actually get addicted to those now. Well, in the future when the game releases, he wants to be able, like, you can use those cigarettes to increase. I think he said he wants to increase aiming stability, but decrease stamina. So kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where you smoke a cigarette, you lose stam, but you gain something.
Yeah. Oh, or if you could smoke a cigarette in the middle of a raid as a stress reliever, like if
Right.
you just got out of a big fight and your stress is up really high, you should be able to smoke a cigarette to calm yourself down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
To calm yourself down.
but it's gonna lower your stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So there's consequences to everything in this game, and that's the one thing why I started streaming this game again, is because that it's not even a game. It's like a combat simulator. Like, you could take this thing really seriously, and if you do, like Landmark or like Geeksay or Dr. Lupo, if you take it seriously, you're gonna come out of the fight majority of the time.
yeah,
Or you
absolutely.
could fuck around in the streamer room and then end up opening a door and getting shot in the face.
Yeah, yeah, like I did to you. I know.
Which there's a clip of that if you guys didn't know, and
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. I laugh.
I'll cut it into here. I'll of me fucking around in the stream room shooting at the wall, and you're like, oh my god, there's a fucking hacker.
It was definitely something that shouldn't have happened, but you know.
And
What,
Unfortunate,
another thing-
it's Tarkov and it happens.
yeah, well, Tarkov, you get Tarkoved.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
Tarkoving happens a lot in this game, so that's the shitty thing about it. And sometimes it's just like, I hate to say it, but I feel like the game's very RNG. Like it is. Like it's very role play. Like it's not
Yeah,
role play,
yeah,
but
like-
very like gamble of the dice. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, you go into a raid, you don't know if you're gonna come out.
yeah, it's true.
No, yeah, like Styx was talking about last night. Like you could either go in geared and kill a bunch of people or die, or you can go in not geared, kill a bunch of people and die. It's just a gamble of if your shot is good enough or if they're good enough. It really all depends. Like, yeah, you could go in geared.
I mean, I've
Go
worn
back
the
here and come
Alton,
out alive.
dude, and I've gotten one tapped, so in the face. So I
It
don't.
happens.
It's I guess it's different with every armor class or every different armor style, or the guns or the ammo or whatever it is. But and touching on that cheaters thing, so Battlestate Games has banned 30,000 cheaters in January, which is a lot. That's a lot of cheaters that have, and we even stumbled upon one last night. It was a speed hacker.
Mhm.
So hopefully he gets banned. I mean, I don't see why people need to cheat. Like, if you're really not that good of a game at the game, just play something else or
Yeah, but
go
the crazy
play
thing about
offline.
it- Yeah, but the crazy thing about this game is like, it's just like your character. It's a progression thing. You get better as you go. Like, I can tell you right now, when I first started this game, I probably was just as bad as a scav walking around. I didn't know how to operate things. I didn't know what to do, this, that, and the third. But as you go on, you learn how to play the game. You learn the movements. You progress as you're progressing in the game.
You learn the maps, you learn the stash spots, you learn what to loot, what not to loot.
How to peek a corner, how not to peek a corner, how to shoulder check corners, how to, blind firing in the corners, maybe to get the opposite end peeker. And I'm also a very, very, I'm very big advocate on, like, this is a peeker winning game. Like,
Exactly.
the
And,
peeker
like,
should win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like the clip I showed you guys last night when I was running that pistol scav. I peeked the left behind corner because I didn't have any cover but some rubble, and the peek, like I peeked to my left. I was able to get that cover that I needed instead of moving. Was able to peek back up and kill the guy, and that's what made him lose because he was out in the open. So really getting caught out in the open is really the downfall of your character dying, is not having cover and you're just getting shot to hell.
Right, but what does
That's
that
why
say about
that-
dorms then? Because the whole thing is covered except for those like 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah, but
Where
that-
it's like
that's
that
like-
big kitchen area or
At
like
that
the
point,
couches.
at that point, it's just a 50-50 chance of either you die or you don't die. You get out alive, or like that fight we were having, like I think last week, it almost came down to who had the most ammo. If I shot that guy in the head that peaked, then I didn't realize it. But
Right.
Yeah, but my thing is also, like, dorms fighting is fun, especially when you get trapped up on the 3rd floor, because that's when it becomes strategic and becomes room to room.
Fuck it.
Oh,
We'll just
Wow.
continue it. It doesn't matter.
Is she there?
She's just left. She's like, I had to leave. I'm at the light already. I was like, oh, okay. All right, so continue. I guess. Never mind. My bad.
okay, so where did we leave off?
Dorms,
Dorms, yeah.
yeah, dorms.
Talking
Yeah,
about,
dorms.
talking about dorms. It's gonna be a really weird edit in.
That's fine.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry,
We'll
bro.
I'll cut it and then we'll just go to a different topic or something. But
Yeah, no, but like I was touching bases on dorms a little bit, like that in and out of the progression of moving room to room and being really strategic about how you peak, when you peak, and where you peak is good. That to me leads to really good fights. Like I like fights like that more than I do like fights out in the open. Because fights out in the open, like Woods, is like that's just one of those. Did you see him or did he?
yeah,
see
it's a matter of who saw who first, really.
Exactly.
Like Sherman will see you first, 100%.
Well, except for the time where we were on Woods and we were on Sniper Rock, like I saw the guy first, but my mouse, like, I don't even think it was my mouse. I think it was the Mosin. Honestly, I left click and I didn't shoot, and ultimately ended up in me dying. And I don't know if that was on Battle State or the server's fault, but
Look,
it
I'm
really
gonna tell you
it
something
really
right
depends on who gets lucky or not.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, bro. The worst feeling when it comes to Woods is like you get up into what you believe is a really good sniping spot and you're trying to snipe. Just say you're trying to go for shooter-born heavy kills, whatever. Just so we have like somewhat of a reason to be sitting in the same spot. You literally see someone, you catch a glimpse of them, and then next thing you know it, you get peeled. Your shit just gets peeled straight back. That is the worst feeling. Like you don't see nothing, then you finally see something, but they saw you before you saw them, and then next thing you know, you literally lock onto them for 2 seconds. And it's like they waited for you to look at them so they can just shoot you.
Well, so what I did last wipe, because I basically mained Woods last wipe. That and customs, really. I would sit in Sniper Rock. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't even get up to Sniper Rock. I couldn't get up there because my stamina was really low. So I sat on like Dickhead Rock, and I would wait for people to actually literally look in my face, right? Because you know what? When people look at you, they're stopping. They stop. They stand still, right? And when they stand still, it's a clean shot.
True.
So that's the thing, is that they wait for you to look at you, or wait for you to look at them, and you stop, and you're dead.
Yeah. So another thing that I've always like been very curious about is when people get mad at you when you don't wear a mask. Like I'm one of those people that believe like I'm pretty smart. I can see a helmet from pretty much a mile away. So if I can see a helmet, I know where his face is going to be. It's going to be within like 3 inches below the brim of the helmet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like one of those things where like, does that really make a difference? Now, if you're talking about being a little bit more sleeker and a little bit more discreet when you're moving through brush, then I can understand that. But 90% of the time, when do you really have fights like that? When do you have slow push fights? Because I guess that's more player based. Like, how do you play? And that's another thing. Like, there's a million ways that you can play this game. Like a million different ways that you can come out and play this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that there's people that rat in a corner. There's people that rat at fucking exfil. Then you got your chads that go in, jump from 3 stories, break their legs, and fucking just mag dump you. Everybody plays this game differently and how they see it.
Right. And that's the thing with like, people were saying like there's chads and rats, but what are the people? And I'm actually like I watched a Fair TX video and he really like he coined this phrase. And I'm kind of self-identifying myself as it. You have your chads, the ones who don't go in for the loot, but they love the loot, but they don't go in for the loot. They go in to fuck you up. And there's the rats who wait around for people to die and they take their shit. And then there's the third class where the people who like they don't want to pick fights, but if they get attacked, then they're gonna go after them, or they'll flank around. They'll use side pushes. They'll use medium to high-ish ammo. One-tap people, they'll sit in bushes. They're called the honey badgers. And I self-identify as the honey badger.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I
but even as a honey badger...
Go ahead,
what I was going to say is, even as a honey badger, if you're sitting on the map reserve or even woods, there's a lot of people that run thermals, especially on nighttime, which... Battle State, there's a rumor out there that there's going to be an anti-thermal stim coming in the future, which hopefully will happen because there's, a lot of people are tired of, getting, running night rage, having night vision goggles, running all this gear, and then there's just that one guy with a thermal who could see literally everything on the map, and it's kind of annoying. It's to the point.
I don't know. I think I would kind of like class myself as like Chad.
Oh, you're a Chad. You are a Chad.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
go
I
after
really.
everything.
You're a Chad,
You
bro.
go after everything.
Yeah.
You go after everything.
Do you think so though?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I do. I don't feel like I push a lot of fights.
You push a lot of fights.
You push a lot more than you think you do.
Well,
Like, I mean, I
and
guess you could say
Bulb,
last
so,
round.
and I'm starting to realize this too, Bulb is a fucking rat. He'll wear really good gear so that if he ever gets seen, he doesn't get one-tapped. So he'll wear the Alton and the AVS, and he'll bring an M4, but he'll sit in a bush and wait for us to die and take our shit.
No, I'm more or less overthinking that Bulb is an overprotected rat. He likes to know that if he gets shot at, he has the good gear on, so he's not gonna die enough to rat attack away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Hit him with the rat attack.
Yeah, hit him with the rat attack. You know what I mean? General Sam says it the best. You know, but it's just like so going back to me, like I don't feel like I push fucking fights, boys. I just I want to get in there, fuck someone up, and get out.
That's what
But-
Chad does.
That's a Chad.
But
Yeah.
then sometimes when I hear gunshots going off in the distance, I'm like, huh.
Hell no.
Oh,
See, y'all
like
guys
the-
said hell no. I'm like,
like-
maybe.
Like the factory clip where I shot you in the feet and you screamed. You're like, no, not gonna do that.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
then last night was Sticks complaining when my Chad ass went up in the motherfucking
Bro,
stronghold
okay,
and
so-
started just shitting on all the guards, and he was like, "Yeah, can I get a guard? Can I get some loot?" I should have been like, "Hell no, you can't get no loot. You wasn't trying to be in here."
All right, let me just clarify that for the people who are actually watching this. So last night, me and Ghost went in because Smoke was doing either a scav run or I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, I was in a scav run when I killed that one team.
And we were by Old Gas. We spawned right next to Old Gas, and I looked into Stronghold, and I saw these like two scavs, right? And I shot at them, and they didn't die right away. So I was like, all right. I killed the one, by the way. I killed the one raider, so I did do some work, okay? So anyway, I shoot at him, and a fucking grenade hits me in the face. I almost die. And I'm like, bro, that's Rashal and the boys. He's like, all right, well, let's go push him. I'm like, fuck no, I'm hurt. Like, I'm almost dead. So he throws me a serve kit, and he's like, fucking med up, and let's go. I was like, ah, god damn it.
Because the famous quote of this group:
Scared money don't make money. I know.
Make money. You
I
know,
know.
scared money don't make money. We gotta go after shit sometimes. I went in there, and boys, let me tell you, boys and girls, I walked in there, just fucking, just Hong Kong swinging.
Dude, I don't know how you even did that. I don't know how you fucked up all those scavs. You really like, though, dude, and they got them grenade chucking arms. They got them big fucking juicy motherfucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1984 arms. Like they got them fucking, bro. They tossed farther than Derek Jeter in the playoffs.
Well, you know what? I went in there and hit harder than Alex Rodriguez in the motherfucking playoffs. So it's alright because they dead, and that's all that matters.
Jesus.
Y'all ever see those clips of freaking someone just running up to Raiders and they throw like 8 fucking grenades at them?
And they don't die?
And that's just, no. The Raiders throw like 8 grenades.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, they're
It's
fucking.
hilarious.
Dude, they're grenade chucking arms, bro. They got some some big shit. And that's the other thing too, dude. Like they're adding more factions into Tarkov. So what you're gonna be able to do when the full game releases is that when you know how your scav levels up. Like I think my scav is at level 9 right now. And by the way, the only way you can check that is if you go into a raid, you click your tab, and then you go to overall. You can see your scav's level. But they're going to be adding Untar and the Russian Spec Ops into raids. So what I think what's going to happen is that when you level your scav up to, let's say, 15, you can go in as a raider or even a boss at level like 50. So if you level your scav up to level 50, you may spawn in as Gluhar. You may spawn in as Rashala.
I don't feel like that would be a good dynamic for the game.
Yeah, but imagine a player scav boss. Like, can you imagine how dirty that shit would be?
Yeah, but I feel like that would be abused because you gotta think like how many hit points they have and stuff like that. Could you imagine a player?
Well, they would probably lower it to raider hit points, but
yeah, but the thing is though, like, can you really risk that though? Because then it's like if you have a player boss and you lower their health because they're a player, then you pretty much get boss kills on like easy mode. And what if someone that's like a garbage can that literally doesn't know how to play the game just happens to make it up to a higher level because they rat out for a little while and they get into that? And now that's just like an easy kill. You just go in there, you just boom, they're dead.
Yeah.
So it's like that type of stuff. But I believe that you could spawning in as a raider, I believe should be something. Or the higher you get up on a scav, the better gear you should have.
Well, that's
It's
what's
always
going on right
shitty.
now.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's always shitty when you fucking spawn in with like a pistol or something like that. Like no one wants that, or a shotgun. I hate shotgun scabs. I die alive.
I like the
What the
Mosin
fuck?
scavs, but the other thing is that they want to add another faction that you can play as. So the Untar and the Russian Spec Ops. Now, when you see an AI and the Untar, you know, the UN checkpoints in like woods and shit like that. So Peacekeeper is going to set up the Untar, like 3 or 4 of them there, and they're going to do patrols around the map. And if they see bears or scavs, they will shoot on sight.
Okay.
Now, same thing with the Russian Spec Ops. If they see USECs, they will shoot on sight, but they're going to have more of them. So the Russian Spec Ops are going to be like 10 to 12 a stack or a patrol, and the Untar are going to have 4.
Okay.
Talking about scavs, can we talk about the shit, what was it? The decrease in spawn rate on scavs? Like, I think it's annoying it to the point where, like, you're running around the map for like 30 minutes and you still don't see scavs. I think they should really like up the rate. And coming back to the aimbot scavs is fucking, they decrease the spawn rate, but they up their fucking skill. And I don't think they should have no skill. They're AI. I don't think they should be able to like fucking 180, double YY quick scope you from across the map. I think
Yeah, dude,
that's
the scavs, the AI scavs have like aimbot right now. Like they're
Exactly.
crazy, dude.
They're crazy because their spawn rate is really low, and I think they should really bring that back up. Like, it wasn't last wipe, but it was the wipe when I started back in February, March. There was a bunch of scavs on the map. There was like, maybe like 20 to 25 on the map at a time. And I think that's what they need to go back to, is because, if you're going to decrease the spawn rate of the scavs, at least decrease what you need for each quest. Like, me and Ghost last night were going through woods. We went through it 3 times, not finding one single scav the entire time.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed was a scab.
He needed 1 scab, and I still need 10. But still, it lays out the fact that, if you're going to have these quests, at least decrease the amount that you need if you're going to decrease the spawn rate of scavs.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I understand. If you're gonna increase the scav rate on certain maps, you should decrease PMCs. Like, well, no, listen, because reserve, right? You can spawn scavs in D2 in the bunker and area, like those areas, but decrease the PMC spawn. So like, instead of having, I don't know how much reserve has. Let's just say 15, right? Why not put it at 10? And that way you have 10 PMCs in the map and like 20 raiders and scavs, including Gluhar. And that way you can get more scav kills, still level up, and if you run into a PMC, you can still kill him.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. Is like, just increase, I would say even increase scav and lower PMC. Yeah, that makes, that's it. Yeah. English.
That makes sense. No, I get it. No, I understand. But I think going back into it a little bit is just like, you got to think real world, like situations where if you walk out into somewhere and there are scabs, because that pretty much means scavenger, in case anyone didn't know. It's someone that's out there just trying to find a little bit of stuff, it's just supposed to be, I don't even know if it's supposed to be it's not post-apocalyptic or anything like that, but it's just more or less like war-torn places. Like there's war going on and this, that, and the third.
Yeah. And that's where I think like VoIP can come in too, is like if you're talking and you're next to a scav, he could shut up and walk up to you and kill you. Like I said, like VoIP should trigger a lot of stuff. Like build like even for instance, like factory, right? You know how like that office is all fucked up?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you talk too loudly, you should hear like rocks. You know what I mean? Like rocks just reverberating off the wall or whatever. Or, a scav can come up to you and kill you because you're talking too loudly. Or PMCs can hear you across the map or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more shit they need to fix before doing that. Like,
Well, yeah.
audio in general.
Yeah, especially on the sound side. Like, if I'm walking on a fence, I shouldn't be hearing me running on like a metal catwalk. That makes no
Yeah.
sense. And there, you know, a lot of crunching. You know, the wind. The wind is what really gets me. Is like, if you go outside right now, you're not gonna hear wind like.
Yeah, dude, it's
You
like
know,
right in your
so
ears.
it makes no sense on why they have wind literally every second of a raid. It doesn't like. I get every like if they put in like gusts of wind, that makes more sense. But having wind through the entire raid kind of really negates the fact of hearing footsteps.
Whoa.
I mean, I get that, and you know, being able, you know, just being able to hear people in general because the wind is super loud, and it
That's
makes
why
no
I stopped
sense.
running headsets because I can't hear
Well,
anything.
where I live, okay. So where I live, in case you guys didn't know, is PA. We have a lot of mountains and shit like that. I hunt, so there's two things that I was always like taught in my life is silence is the loudest noise. And it's not really loud. It's just you don't hear anything, and it's your eardrums finally settling down. And if you live in a wooded area, or you hunt in a wooded area, or whatever, what have you, it doesn't matter. Wind sounds completely different in the woods than it does in your neighborhood. 100%.
Yep, that's
Oh, I
true.
know
Because there's
that,
more
but, like,
channels.
Yeah, but we're talking you're talking about the map woods, but like say we go on customs and stuff like that. That's down on like you know sea level and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that's-
that. There's
that's
buildings and
a-
stuff. Like, why is there you know a bunch of wind sound between buildings?
But do you ever see that when you get in between the buildings, the wind stops, but once you get on like a throughput where wind can rush through, it gets louder?
Not really. I've always
That's-
heard I've always heard wind sounds no matter where I'm at, unless I'm in.
Yeah, I always hear wind too, especially when I'm wearing like those like the really shitty headphones. Which I stopped wearing headphones for this reason. Even contacts, because contacts are shit. I hate them. I can't. I hear everything. It's like, dude, it's too loud. Like I'll wear sword and
they're game breaking.
right, but I don't want to hear Mark 18 that's across the fucking map. I want to hear footsteps that are 2 feet in front of me. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear like all the extra shit. I just want to hear the footsteps.
Isn't the Mark 18 locked from buying from Jaeger now?
Yes. So you have to do a mission to get it, and then you have to. If you lose it, you will not be able to buy it back from Jaeger. You have to buy it on the flea.
Wow.
Huh.
That's and that's the other thing. So the labs, they're also locking that down to do a rework because they want to. So it's so dark. And it's so hard. I mean, granted, it's hard to get into, and it's like the PvP map. That is the map where you go to get either fucked on or fuck up somebody's day. So they want to make it a little bit bigger, and they want to brighten it because it's so dark. You know, there's no lights, and also they want to make the lights shootable because you can't shoot the lights out in labs.
Yeah, but I also feel like I'm not worried about the darkness of it all because that plays into the effect of what's going on. That lab was raided. So you're gonna tell me in the process of them raiding, they just were like, "Oh no, we're not gonna touch any of the fucking lights. God forbid, can't be seen." No, I don't think it's one of those things. I just feel like there's certain things in the game that they need. Like, can they possibly tone up the lightage a little bit? Yeah, but like some areas should be dark.
Well, here's what I'm thinking as to why they want to do that is because they want to do map to map travel. So you're going to be able to go from factory to labs and then labs to streets. So when you do factory, you exit to the labs exit, you go to labs, and then why don't you brighten that hallway or the area that extract is in? So like if you're in the factory exit, like you just got out of the factory, you're in labs, brighten that area so that, you know, you'll know if you're going the right way or the wrong way. Like if you're going the wrong way, it's going to get really dark. If you're going the right way, it's going to get bright. It's bright already, and then you just go to the extract, you go to streets.
True. Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of different things that can happen, honestly.
On another note, you know, it's VOIP 12.9. There's rumors that Streets is coming out in 13. For those of you that haven't seen it, there is actually a trailer. There's 2 trailers out for Streets of Tarkov, which actually looks really amazing that we can cut in here very shortly. But what do you guys think of the map? I'm pretty excited. I think there's going to be a lot of PvP. I think everybody's going to go from reserve to streets. There's a lot of stuff we can go through.
I think
So-
there's gonna be a lot of ratting. I feel like ratting
yeah.
is gonna be big. I feel like it's going to be positional advantage if you get up into those buildings and you can look down the street. You
Yeah,
win.
like we were talking about earlier, like woods. For woods, it's either it's who sees who first, and I think that's what streets is going to be, since there's going to be there's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of cover to hide behind. It's going to be kind of like interchange in a way, but out in the open. So you can hide in shops and hide behind tables, hide behind cash registers and stuff like that. And it's really whoever sees who first or hears who first is going to get the kill in streets, I think. But after watching the trailers, I'm super excited, especially by playing all these maps lately. They're just getting kind of repetitive at this point, and
I can
everybody
agree.
wants something new. Everybody wants something fresh. I mean, we could run labs because we never run labs, but going back to
You're gonna get fucked up at labs,
though. Well, not even that. It's BSG's banned over 30,000 cheaters. Every cheater runs labs because it makes money.
That's risk, high reward. That's what it is.
Exactly. You could run into a cheater, you could run into a Chad, or you could get out alive.
Yeah, but that's the same thing with like reserve. Okay, so like if they add streets into the game, right? You're saying that it's the new reserve. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be more like, okay, I need to get in here because I need to do a quest. Like when they release the offline campaign, which they plan on doing, they're going to start you in streets and then you work your way down. So you're going to go from streets to labs, labs to suburbs, suburbs to terminal, terminal to factory, factory to and all the way down to shoreline and lighthouse and all that stuff. So doing streets, I feel like that's going to be like the new starting area, and I'm probably wrong. You guys are probably thinking that I'm crazy, but hear me out. That map is really not that big, but if you're playing offline and you do have a rat, they're definitely gonna hide. Like all right, in the second trailer, you're walking down that street, right? You see like the sniper tower and all those shops, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like people are gonna try and sit behind those desks, wait for footsteps, and then fire on the street. That street is gonna be a huge choke point, and that one big tower, I feel like that's gonna have the most loot. That big tower that goes all the way up to like 45 floors, like that will definitely have like the graphics cards, circuit boards, CPUs, LED X's, crazy shit like that. And then they're gonna also add in the game that loot can spawn literally anywhere. So you can find a graphics card in a loot box, or like a Jaeger stash, or like sniper tower in customs, or anywhere. So that's when I guess the game gets more solid. But I think they should do away with their system now, their graphics system. They should, instead of using their engine now, they should use the Unreal Engine. And the Unreal Engine I think it's free. So like, why not just switch?
Yeah, I believe they're using Unity engine right now.
Yeah, Unity.
And with Unity, you don't really have many assets to work with. So they've been creating all their own assets, which it's not bad, but I feel like the game honestly would run a lot better, because Unity engine's more for like those indie games, those indie titles and stuff like that. There's off topic. There's Slender Man: The Arrival, which looks like a fantastic game, but it was also ran on the Unity engine, and I feel like if they got their assets and resources right, I think Tarkov would look great on Unity, but I would definitely, say that Unreal Engine would probably do this game a lot more justice.
Well, they want to do esports when they do Arena, so at that point, like, running esports on Unity Engine, your shit is floppy, like, and you even saw it the other day. Your gun sways, your sight sways. On the Unreal Engine, it would be like a lot more. I wouldn't even say a lot more crisper. It would be like a lot better. I would just say like better PvP.
Like I was gonna say, I feel like the movement would be 10 times better. The way your weapons work, the way you hold your weapon, the way you look at your weapon. Just everything about mechanic-wise about that game, I think would be 10 times better if they moved over to Unreal Engine.
Yeah. What I'm afraid of, though, is that the game is going to turn into Siege if they do move engines.
Well,
so
no,
I doubt it.
They need to go ahead and just move servers if they can, or at least team up with some type of AAA company to bring better servers to their community. But they need to implement an anti-cheat. If they can do that, I mean, it's not going to stop all the cheating and the hacking, but it slows down a lot.
Well, they have one. It's BattleEye.
Yeah.
It
ain't working. It doesn't work that well.
It needs to be a lot better. You
Yeah.
know, But to me, if they do that, this game could be what I would say one of the greatest games to come to PC.
I
And
think a lot of
I'm
people have
saying that.
seen that too. Is that, you know, when the last drops happened like 2 weeks ago or something like that? It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That a lot of people, like even big name streamers like Tim the Tatman, Dr. Disrespect, Summit, Dr. Lupo, Landmark, like everyone was playing the game because it was like, holy shit, this is fun. And then they started dying and like, holy shit, this sucks.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, this game has everything that you want as a gamer. Even if you're not even into like super big FPSs and stuff like that. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, the basis of the game is a first-person shooter, absolutely. But there's more aspects into it. You literally go into a raid to get shit, to build a hideout, to do this, that, and a third. Like, you can role play in this game. If they do proximity chat, you can role play. This game can then be a role playing game. Like, there's so many angles to go with it. It's incredible what they can do.
Yeah, like going back on to, I believe either you or Six said earlier, this game really is like, you know, before it was Arma 3, but now really this game has become the best, you know, army simulator you could ever ask for. And I think it's probably one of the best games, one of the best FPS games out there today. Like, there's no game that has beat this game yet. And
Right.
you know, yeah, you know, you get kicked in the nuts. That's basically what Dr. Lupo says, is like, this game is basically getting punched in the nuts 5 times over. But you know, that's how life is. If you go and you know, if you go out and like say this is real life, and you go out into a raid and you die, you're not gonna have that shit, obviously. But it's a game. And
Well,
you
you're
wanna
gonna die.
continue, so- no,
Yeah.
no. What I was gonna say is, yeah, you're obviously gonna, like, if it was real life, you're gonna die. You're not gonna have that shit anymore. You're just dead. But they want to continue you into the game, so when you die, you lose all that shit, regardless. I mean, you know, the pouch doesn't make sense because when you die, you know, that stuff stays. But you know, as the realism fact, like, this game is like super realistic. I love it. You know, it's just, there's a lot of stuff they need to work on to make it more realistic in a way. Like like the video I sent you guys from Reddit the other night, the whole camera shake. I think that is more realistic than what they have now, honestly. I mean, granted, there could have been a little bit more camera sway when shooting, but I feel like that is a lot more realistic than what Battle State has been doing with you know, firing a weapon and shit like that.
And going back to that pouch thing, is that like, the way I see it is like, it's a locked briefcase that nobody can unlock, and that you just get back in insurance. It's like, I mean, that's my way of thinking. Like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You got to give people something back. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just take everything from them. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
at the end of the day, even though it is a realistic game, it's a game.
Right.
That's the whole like tip of it. It's a game. You know, you're there to have fun. You're there to learn stuff. You know, before this game, I didn't know. You know, because you know, like I told you guys, I've never shot a gun before. I've always wanted to. You know, I have a big standing on guns and safety and stuff like that. Like, I think everybody should own a gun to protect themselves if something happens. Because like, I've seen those videos where, you know, there's people that don't have a gun and versus people that do have a gun in those situations. And you know, before this game, I didn't know, you know, calibers of rounds, but now I know, like, you know, 7.62 by 54, or 7.62 by 5.1, 5.56, 9 by 19, and stuff like that. You know, this game has really taught me a lot about realism and, you know, real world aspects of it too. And I think a lot of people could learn from this game if they played it too.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to learn with this game, but like, not to go long. I know this is our first episode, and I probably feel like we should probably like hone it back and wrap it up a little bit. Is there any like last remarks anyone has, you know, just to kind of let the fans on the community know that, like,
Sub and follow to my Twitch.
No, what I was gonna say is no, what I was gonna say is coming back to the whole, like, people should get into this, is like, you know, we should give tips to new people that start this game, because you know, there's a lot of people that are starting to, you know, see this game because it's getting a lot more popular. You know, it came out in 2017. The first trailer came out in 2015. I personally saw the trailer in 2015. I was like, I really want that game. It was like 2016, 2017, I think. I was like, I really want the game, but I didn't have a PC at the time. And then last year I started watching videos on it, and I was like, oh, I remember this game. I watched the trailer on it a few years ago, and then I got it. convinced my friend to get it. You know, there's just a lot of new people. So do you guys have any like tips for new people coming
All
into
right,
the
so
game?
what we're gonna do with the new people coming to the game is, I don't want to expend all you motherfuckers out here listening to this right now. I know you got shit to do, your day's long, whatever, you know. So next episode we'll talk about what you should do as a new player.
Yeah.
So and covering
agree.
things as a new player.
And we also have a
So-
Discord for new players too, which we're actually
Absolutely.
talking in right now. So if you guys need help or anything like that,
So
we're
if you-
more than able to.
If you guys are watching this in the YouTube video, there will be a link down in the description. You guys can go ahead and click that and join our server. If you are new, we do have assistance voice channels. You can just you can go into the LFG com channel and ask for help, looking for a group. You know, be like, I'm new, and then go into a voice channel. And there, you know, there's a lot of people that will help you out. There's there's a lot of people that really love to teach new people and get them into this game, because this game is just, honestly, it's fantastic.
Hell yeah.
And next time we will also have video.
Yes, fuck yeah, we'll have video next time.
Yeah,
But
webcams.
it's been real. It's me, your boy Ghost. I'll make sure we post everything down in the description. Go ahead and say y'all follow-offs.
Sticks. Yeah, it's my YouTube, so you'll know like my Twitch and my, you'll see it. It's
He's bad
all
at
there.
this, guys. Don't
Yeah, I'm
worry.
very bad at this. I'm very bad. I'll get better, I promise.
Smoke, you better finish it off right, baby.
And you know, I'm Smoke,
Oh god.
as you heard.
His name is literally I'm Smoke,
Exactly.
We're
but
falling apart.
instead of
But-
SMOKE, it's SMOAK.
But Smoke, give it to him one time for the end. So anyway,
Started blasting.
we're out of here, motherfuckers. Y'all have a great day.
DK on the beat. Oh.